I'm damn sure my brother's keeper, man.
Oh, let's go, man. Hey, yeah, yeah. Y'all know what y'all watching. I'm gonna tell y'all though. The Porch Podcast. The Porch Podcast. Look at Pete Smirk. It's the Porch Podcast. The Porch Podcast. Influential. I'm back. It's the Porch Podcast. Episode 87. Yeah, we got here fast. My brother's keeper. Like the Reaper. We grimming from behind. I'ma get it with the speaker. We got the leakers. Not the cheekers. Influential, the illest niggas with the fleeper. I meant the bleeper. I didn't meant the N-word. I gotta hit it with some real words. Influential is the illest, and you know, every time I grab the mic, I gotta let it flow. I gotta let it go. We gon' come and blow, but not that blow. And yes, y'all know, you know why? Why? Cause it's the Porch Podcast. So come on, huh? And it's the Porch Podcast, yeah. Huh? And it's the Porch Podcast. So come on. Well, and it's the Porch Podcast. Let's go. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
The original, baby.
That's it. P. This is episode 87, and we calling this one My Brother's Keeper. That's it.
Absolutely. You know, hey man, Nino ass, G Money ass Nino. Let's get it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and unfortunately, Nino had to respond in the way that he did. But the basic concept of am I my brother's keeper
Right.
is like this. Am I strong enough, or is our bond strong enough for when you wrong, for me to tell you you wrong? Is our bond strong enough for when you need somebody to, stroke your ego, so to speak, and I tell you, or whoever that person is tell you, nah, I agree with the other person on that one, bruh.
What's that?
That's a person that's truly, in my opinion, being their brother's keeper. That's somebody that's willing to be able to tell them something that they may not be in love with hearing at that moment, that's going to actually help them in the long run.
True.
So I think that that's what the basic concept, in my opinion, that's part of what the basic concept is in being truly your brother's or your sister's keeper, man.
True.
So, I think that was a powerful part of the movie New Jack City, but, I was thinking about it this week, thinking about some of the, conversations that I had, and, sometimes when you hit a person with this right here,
Yeah.
There's a part of you that kind of hopes that they read into that.
Can you hear the vibes?
Most people catch it. Yeah, I can hear the vibes, brother. I like that right there.
Just making sure that I don't want, I don't want it to sound too loud enough.
No. It's rather smooth. But when I sat back and I thought about it, I think that I came to the conclusion that we would all get a lot further if we were truly our brother or our sister's keeper, man.
Right.
What you think, bro? What you think? I mean, that's my opinion.
Well,
what do you think?
I agree wholeheartedly. First of all, sometimes people have to define brother and sister.
All right. Good point.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of times people gravitate to people for one or two reasons. They want to see them win, or they want to beat them.
Oh, wow.
See, everybody.
Okay, wow.
Everybody's doesn't necessarily want to see you win. So when sometimes they say keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like a thing to that. Now, like I said, define brother. Of course, me and you brothers, just from a biological standpoint, we didn't pick
Right.
this. This was designed. This wasn't a
Right.
mistake. This had to be
Nah,
this way.
that's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If it wasn't meant to be this way, then it wasn't. It wouldn't have never happened.
Right.
But sometimes, even when you meet friends and you call them bro or sis,
Right. Right.
we do that by choice.
Hmm.
We do that by choice because we feel like
Great
a lot
point.
of people have earned that spot to become that. But
Right.
loyalty is what usually gives them that spot. But longevity is usually what keeps them there.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
You know what I mean?
What you on today, eh? Right now. Hold up. Oh, go ahead. I don't even want to break it right now, bro.
So sometimes you gotta pay attention and honestly realize and understand what qualifies as a person as a brother or a sister. And then you ask yourself that question.
Right. Absolutely.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Oh.
That's really all I had to say from it, just to kick it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can
Because
tell
when
it's gonna be a great episode.
you first cut on New Jack City, you
Yeah.
could not see Nino killing.
G Money, right?
Right. Now, have you been watching Raising Canaan?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I
And you
have.
seen the
I have.
first 2 episodes.
I have.
So I don't mind speaking on it. But you see, when they took out Scrap,
Mm-hmm.
that hurt both of them.
I don't think nobody in the room was comfortable with it.
Right. Because
I think I think it was done out of necessity in their minds, but nobody in the room was comfortable with it.
right. And that because they felt like they lost a brother. He was a
Yeah.
brother to the day before that.
Right.
So when you ask yourself the question, am I my brother's keeper? You don't really have to ever ask that for somebody that really was never your brother.
I agree. Right.
That's
That
why
question
I
only
said
applies to somebody in question. Right.
that's why I said loyalty gives them the
Right.
title. But longevity is how long depends on how long they would stay there. Because every time we sit there and think about my brother's keeper
Right.
or my sister's keeper, it's somebody that we truly loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think expectations, like you said, the way that they're tied to those relationships
Right.
is what make you even ask that question. Am I my brother or my sister's keeper?
Right.
Like you said, just using that, like you said, for anybody who watches the show, you can tell by the people in the room, nobody took pleasure in that. As a matter of fact, it actually was even being said in a conversation. Who was it? They clearly made it known that person. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not my turn. It's not my situation. I don't believe it. And nobody was comfortable. Even when the lie was exposed, it wasn't like, aha, I got you. It
Right.
was like, damn, I
Damn.
wanted it to be true.
Right.
I wanted what you said to be true.
Yeah.
So, like you said, bro, just kind of piggybacking off of what you said in terms of like, who would even be called into question on it? It's only people that you consider to be like family.
A family that you love.
It's only somebody like that. Because anybody who's outside of the circle of who you would call brother, sister, whether it's blood or mud related, like we say all the time,
Mm-hmm.
it's the concept of, like you said, betrayal. The
Mm-hmm.
concept, you know, what's the limitations, right? Because you know how you might have somebody in, like, for instance, whenever I pray, it's always for, a situation that is unconditional love, right? There's no limitation on it.
Right.
So when you have something that's limitless, or there's no conditions on it and all of those things, that pool of people or that group of people is very small for a reason.
Right.
Because I believe that each person can only handle so many people in their life that's truly going to be in that category for them.
Absolutely.
I just think I don't, you know what I mean? I think there's a cap on it. I don't know what the number is. I think it changes for each person. But I do believe in my heart of hearts that the reality of it is that question comes about as far as being my brother or my sister's keeper
Right.
only with those who actually even deserve. That question only comes into play only with those, in my opinion, who deserve to even fall in that category to begin with.
Right. That's why I said
Because
in the
anything
beginning.
outside of that is different, you know.
That's why I said in the beginning of my whole part of speaking was either they really want to see you win, or they want to
Right.
beat you. They want to be
Yeah,
better than you.
that was powerful. Powerful point. Very
Because
powerful
that's
point.
the only reason why people really connect with you. Even when people are in relationships, right? I give a lot of people the advice, you know what I mean? You know, as for everybody know I'm a newlywed, but I tell people I had good teachers. You know,
Right.
your marriage, mom and pop. We got a slew of aunts and uncles. And the one thing that I've learned from all this was it's never the husband against the wife. It's supposed to be the couple against whatever the problem is.
Right.
And once you understand that, when you can't, ladies, if the man doesn't really feel like he's trying to fight the problem with you, and men, if the woman's not, then you gotta really take in consideration, are they a keeper?
Right. No, absolutely.
Because you know what the problem is,
Absolutely. Right.
you know what the issue is,
Right.
but y'all not working together to fix it.
Hmm.
If it's just you gotta change, or you need to do this, or are we really trying to fix it?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So a lot of things, man, and everything that somebody may cross you on doesn't necessarily mean that that person needs to be cut off. Like
Right.
DMX said, you can trust a thief to steal from you, you can trust a liar to lie to you, you can trust a snake to bite you.
Absolutely.
So that's how trust works.
Absolutely.
You can trust people to be who they are. So when a person repeatedly shows you who they are, sometimes it's smart to keep them to you, but just don't give them enough to be able to cross you. But keeping them close to you, you know how they move.
Yeah.
You know what you can handle them with. Because sometimes it's more dangerous just letting them go. Because you let them go and you let them know that I know how you move, now they going full speed to hurt you or to end you.
Right.
Just like us, when we play fantasy football, and we spoke on it last week's episode, and I said, a lot of times I drafted 3 quarterbacks because if I got that quarterback, there's no way he could hurt me.
Right.
But I have the option to use him.
Right.
So it's like the art of war, man. It's like a war around us. Just because somebody be around you, they don't got to know every move or everything that you take. But a lot of times we don't feel like people crossed us until they did something like only such and such knew that. Think
Right.
about it. Let's just think about The Wire.
Right.
When that paperwork came and Avon was going to jail, it said Russell Stringer Bell on that as the informant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I get it. I get it. I mean, I think it's different. I think that, like you were saying, though, bruh, first and foremost, across to me, or all right, let's do this. We already covered the fact that there's only certain people that should be in that category anyway. Um, like you said, blood related, family and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You family by blood. You had no call in that situation. But even those who you consider that's not part of your bloodline to be family, the way that they fall into the lines of those things are by their actions, right?
Right.
So, like you were saying, kind of piggybacking and pairing what DMX said, along with the feeling or the feeling of betrayal. It only comes into play with those who you give a piece of yourself or your heart to or expectations to
Right.
anyway, right? So, like, if a person is a rival and they tell on you, I was always on the serving. I was always on the chopping block. I was always on the plate for 'em.
Right.
Even in the game in the streets, man, you got people who they play by a different set of rules. You know what I mean? It's that those that's in that game understanding that, if you're not true to who you are and you ratting, snitching, whatever the case may be like that, not to take this too far left, but they still expect you to play within the rules of the game.
Right.
But when you think about certain things like the old song Backstabbers and all these different classics and stuff like that,
They
that talk
smile
about
in
what they
your face
right
all the time. They want to take your place.
right
Backstabbers.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Like those situations. Um, Once again, I think the problem is, or I ain't gonna necessarily say problem. I think that what winds up happening is people expose a certain part of them to be vulnerable, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, if a person has a ill intent, like you said, because everybody that's how can you say you got people that's in competition to beat you, and
Right.
those who are those who are with you. So sometimes you can't always tell who those people are, right? Like, and with that being understood, you made a point to say that you need to kind of limit the things or the opportunities or what you share with them,
What you exposed to them. Yep.
because if you do, you may give them the ammunition to be able to succeed in what their attempt is. See, this is the way I look at this. I look at that statement right there a little bit differently, right? I think that when you think about it from your brother's keeper perspective, the same way you got to know your friends, you know your family, right? So your
Right.
brother, if you got a brother that has sneaky ways, he was your brother by blood. He's a sneaky person by nature.
Right.
So what you got to do is you got to expect the nature of a person, you know what I'm saying, regardless of the affiliation of the relationship, to always be at the forefront, right? So like you said, in the long run, you expect a person who is and displays who they are all the time to do exactly what they do, even to you.
Right.
Because the only false expectation in that situation is the person who's being loyal, or yourself, who has high expectations of the other individual, to never cross them. When they look at you and they display and they show you all the time that this is my nature, you taking it personal, you know what I'm saying? Because you have different expectations for me. So you allowed your heart and to supersede your mind. And so
Right.
when I did exactly what my nature designed me to do, you feel like I crossed you. It is a cross, but you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just like the expectations of that person were never realistic in their eyes anyway. And it was always based on their reality or their nature of who they are.
Right. It's just
So
like
it's different.
they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But like J.
Right?
Cole said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign. Raise the chop and let it rain on you. You know what I mean? We ain't murdering nobody, but what he basically saying is, once you fool me once you get me to one time, I know what you going with. After that, I know how you move. I'm not going to put you in that position, but I may keep you around. See, it's just like this. When you get into religion and understanding, and I always touch religion because, as we know, Bible, basic instruction before leaving Earth. You know what I mean?
Right.
They talk about Adam and Eve and the tree. So, God said, don't eat from the tree, as you know. Eve reached from the tree, gave it to Adam, but Adam was right there when she did it.
Right.
They knew that they let down God the moment that they ate. Use that as an example, okay? And really understand that God is the choice. The true God in life is choice. Because if they wouldn't have pulled from the tree, then they would have went right. But they pulled from the tree and went left. So it's the same thing. When you have somebody close to you and they cross you and betray you, they know that they're crossing you and betraying you. That decides their fate. So they chose themselves, and it may not necessarily even play out right. So truth of the matter is, God is real. He's the creator of everything. But choices create situations. So really, in God in your life is motion by choice. What you choose to believe in, what you choose to act out, what you choose to follow, who you choose to trust, who you choose to call a brother, who you choose not to call a brother.
Absolutely.
But it's right in your face to make the choice.
Right.
And I think sometimes people make things so complicated. Life is not complicated.
Nah.
Choices make them complicated.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
damn, because it's like this, damn, why should I choose to be loyal to him? If I choose this way, I might make an extra $500. So
Yeah.
$500 is more important than the loyalty to quote unquote who you call your brother. Like I heard Big Sean saying the song this morning on the song with him and Nipsey Hussle. Mama said, "You only one choice away from fucking up your Wikipedia." And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So even when you keeping your brother, you choosing to keep your brother. That's why you ask, am I my brother's keeper? And even if they cross you and you forgive them, you still have the choice to keep them. But how you keep them
Yeah.
is really what
Yeah.
it is.
That's really what it is, right? Now, I think, and I believe that was either Socrates or either Confucius that said that statement. I mean, that quote that you was talking about. Life is easy, but
Yeah.
it's people that consistently try to make it confusing.
Yeah.
But once again, like you said, you know what I mean, the concept of keeping those people around you, because I think that what life shows you is that okay, with all of the people that you call, bro or sis or however that situation is, experience and the survival of those experiences is what kind of reshapes and defines you. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So like if a person, once somebody close to you kind of wrongs you, and it's a difference between like a person wronging you and not agreeing with you. If you
Right.
get upset because a person that's close to you said, nah, bro, I can't support that. Like I was saying in the intro in the beginning of it, sometimes people take things personal. Like, you got a homeboy that you consider like a brother,
Right.
and he's doing something. And he look at you and go, you know what I mean, bro? And you
Mm-hmm.
look at him and go, I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I hear what you're saying. And they turn around and be like, here you go. See, you riding with them. And it's like, small things like that, like show you, right? They show you that the mind of some of the people that we call brother and sister may not be as keen or as strong to really be able to deal with you being their brother or sister. Because to me, a person that really is your keeper, they're going to be there to do anything that they can to help uplift you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not put you in a position where I'm gonna support you, even though I know you're going down a rabbit hole that's leading to nowhere.
Right.
So that's some of the difference in the situation. But like you said, the expectations of people, I think as we get older, what we all realize anyway is that we got to start being a little bit more selective on the people that we call or claim or label certain things anyway.
Right.
We
Everybody's
just have
not bro.
Yeah, everybody can't be that. And there's a difference
Yeah.
between like, the slang element of it. Oh, excuse me, my brother, in the streets where you see somebody and you trying to get by or just get their attention or whatever, that's different.
Right.
Because like a person that you call a bro, you ain't gonna have no problem leaving them around your family because they're gonna act like your brother around your family.
Right.
A person that that you call a sister, you know what I'm saying, is going to be, you know, somebody who don't put you in harm's way. Don't call you. I'm gonna call my bro and he gonna run down and this, that, and the third. Like there's somebody that's gonna respect that element of it. And respect that you got a family and there's people that's, dependent on you.
Right.
But more importantly than anything else, what they're gonna always do is they're gonna also always value the bond that you have that makes you even qualify or classify them as a brother or sister anyway. That's what it is.
Right.
So, before we get too much deeper, man, because this is a great conversation as always. I want to talk to y'all about or let y'all know about a full service event company, man, that can take care of all of your event planning needs. Hey, E, man, you do it every week, brother. Let them know who it is. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show.
F&C events.
That's it. So, but yeah, man, so like I said, that movie was one of the ones that we talked about, but just, in life in general, man, I'm quite sure we all had to face different conversations and different people that that we considered to be bro and sis. They didn't always end well.
Right.
There are some of those people, unfortunately, since we're talking about those who we do categorize as bro and sis and keep them there and try to, hopefully live up to the expectations of that label. There's some that you got to just let go, man. There are some that you got to.
No, you don't keep them all around. Mm-mm.
You can't keep them all.
Right.
And when that comes to be, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to ask you about anybody in particular or any name or person. I would never do that. But I would always say that I believe that each and every last one of us have people that we, our lives grow in different directions and they take it differently.
Right.
And there's people that we call bro or sis that, as they're figuring out their ways and their lives and, you're going your way, they take your growth as a separation, and I wonder how you feel about that, bro. Because for me, it's to be like a head scratcher, like, wow, how fly were we?
Real quick with that. That's easy. I can't dumb down my life because you're gonna feel some type of way.
Right.
That's just that. But if something truly happened between us, I think the important part, like I'm not trying to just push off the question you asked, but my answer for that is simple. Listen, I got a mission. I know in my heart that I'm supposed to fulfill this mission. If you cannot deal with me because of this mission and you feel like that I'm not the same or whatever it is, that I can't hold your hand. Like Nas told Nature, I can't hold your hand through this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I got to continue to go with me. But as far as somebody did cross me or did do me dirty, I think the most important part of the situation is forgiveness. Like, some people don't
absolutely
never want to forgive because they think they're cutting that person a break. But in all actuality, when you truly forgive something, you don't think about it. See,
nah.
I don't believe in forgive and forget. No. I think you always remember because you're going to be reminded when you see the person. However, I think forgive and forget doesn't mean amnesia. I think it just means forget about it. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I'm just going to clap myself up for that. It doesn't mean amnesia. It means don't, like, when they be like, yo, when you going to forget about this? Because sometimes people can't let stuff go.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's forgive and let go. But forgive and forget. See, you don't have to. You cannot hold on to it and remember it, but just don't hold on to it. Don't let it dictate your life. So this is why forgiveness is powerful and is healthy. Because at the end of the day, forgiveness is for you. But once again, I tell people, most people linger on and hold on to things if someone they love crossed them. That's why this all falls under my brothers keeping my... Because if somebody really crossed you a certain way, then they weren't your brother. See, when we were young coming up, and we found out that we both mess with the same... Like, fellas found out they mess with the same girl and the dude ain't tell... I'm not looking at that as crossing them.
Right.
But if you looking at it like, okay, I was in a long...
Now, what if they knew, though? Let me ask you that, though. What if they did know? Like, what if they knew?
A lot of times they knew. Right? A lot of times they knew. I think it's the level of care that was presented Because sometimes dudes are front, man. I don't care about her like that, but really do. If you do, speak on it, bro. It don't make you look like a sucker.
Now if he speak on it, would you view that as a cross then? I'm not,
He did, but do it mean I'm gonna cut him off? Nah, because he didn't rape her.
See,
He
I'm
didn't
right
rape her.
there with you. I'm
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
asked that question that way. He ain't
But I
take
just
nothing.
know now, if I care about a woman and I really like a woman, I'm not gonna have that woman around this guy.
Right. So he's still bro?
I told you it take a lot to earn, bro. So if he earned the bro position, the bro title,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna move him from him. I just know that's the bro that'll hump on the woman if you leave him around.
I'm so glad you didn't rhyme with bro E because I just knew you was gonna do it, man.
Nah. We going. It's this too real. It's too real today.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
understand. Hey,
However,
here we go.
you always have one of those bros.
Yeah. So what do you really call him? You call him the hoe, bro?
The Mighty Morphin Blow Bro. Power Ranger. Powder Ranger.
Yeah.
We went a half hour without some bullshit, P, and you came in here trying to pull it out of me, man.
Nah. You know what though, E? Because we ain't never danced around. The conversation, the reality. Like we never danced around it before. So we're
Nah,
not
we
gonna
did.
dance around it now. What I am gonna say is trying to get my mouse back together. What I am gonna say is that I do think that there are certain things
Yeah.
that will, because I'm like you. All right, so bro, sis is a title that's earned. There's a series of different things that transpire to allow a person to get into the realm of that kind of space, in your heart.
Right.
There's a part of you that comes with expectations though.
Yeah.
I believe that. Like I believe that in order for a person to kind of fall into the category of being like family, my expectations are those of like family. Now,
Right.
once again, the problem with that, in my opinion, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I've experienced a little bit more in life, is that we allow the heart to cancel out nature.
Right.
So, what did I need to get better at? What did I need to get stronger at? Respecting the nature of a person.
Right.
So that if I do that from the beginning, I'm not saying that they won't get viewed or valued at a high level, but everybody's not going to be able to be bro, and everybody's not going to be able to be sis at that level. It's just not. So
Right.
I agree with you, right? Like, because you go through things and you say, I ain't gonna cut him off. We got too many connections. Our bond is too strong. Am I a little taken back by what happened, the action? It bothered me, yes. But then you know what happens? It's the funniest thing in life. You start to reflect on other times, right? And then you start saying, damn, he did do that to him. And he did that to him. What part of me thought that that it was, impossible to happen possibly to me?
Right.
And it's not you okaying what happened. It's the reality of that person's nature finally landing. And you saying, I'm not saying that that's not my bro. I just have to put certain barriers. Okay. Nah. I don't care if I'm not here, babe. If I'm not here, when he stopped by, tell him I ain't home, and that you'll let him know that, that you stopped by. First off, we don't even do the unannounced pop-ups anyway.
Right.
I know we fly, we still call each other and text each other all
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
But I do think that you learn from those things. I do think that your brother and your sister as a whole, I even think that they're like the people that do qualify is that I even think that their form starts to change. Right? Like what you would consider to be your bro. Because you got people that go with bro, bruh, and all these different things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it does.
I think nowadays bruh has a stronger title, stronger position in my life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When anybody say bruh to, what's up, bruh? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I done had deep conversations with him. I had some situations that, that made us closer. We done been through some things together. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
However, everything that you're saying still goes back to my theory that God is choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because everybody that you choose to call bruh or sis is a choice. And guess what? They have the choice to accept it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
They have the
They
choice
can
to
turn around and
accept it.
flip it on you. They can flip it on you and say, I ain't never tell you I was your
I
brother.
ain't never tell you I was that. You called me that. You ain't never hear me call you that.
It's true. It's true. There's
You know
something
what
to
I
think
mean?
about, y'all. Definitely
Yeah.
something to think about, y'all.
So just because
You
you
know,
look at somebody one way don't mean they look at you like that.
right.
But everything too, you gotta have thick skin. And again, like you stated, you said something big. You know, you said respect nature. It's not even just you have to respect it, but I think respecting something. Sometimes people respect things because they don't understand it,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
in all actuality, having knowledge of nature
Mm-hmm.
should give you the proper respect for it. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
Like when they state, like when a person be like, yeah, but I fear jail. No, I mean that doesn't mean I'm physically scared to go to jail. No, I respect the fact that I don't want to be locked up ever. It's a reverential fear. I love freedom too much.
Yeah.
So because I love freedom too much, so much, I do the right thing to keep my ass. I'm not trying to outrun or beat the system because, in the long run, I know I'm gonna lose. Because most people lose.
And yeah. And I think respect and fear always run parallel to one another anyway.
Right?
It's always going to be, you know what I mean? It's like a left hand and a right hand.
Yeah.
Like I think they always run parallel. Like even in a situation of using respect and fear in those things, bruh and sis, you got
Yeah.
people that won't cross a person not so much out of respect, but out of fear,
Out of fear because
right?
they don't know what's going to come after that. And
Right. You know what I mean?
that's called a reverential fear, meaning like, damn, I fear what would happen, not physically harming me. No,
I
to
mean,
our to
yeah, I
our
mean,
to no. I understand that because
yeah,
a old saying, shout out to Kurt. Do whatever your chin could take. If you think this dude
right,
gonna crack your shit, why would you do it if you fear that? But
right.
what I mean by that is, if you really truly love the relationship or the friendship, why would you do that?
And that's the part that to me, why it hurts or stings so much when they do.
Right,
And that's what I'm saying. So like that fear and that respect thing that runs parallel, you know what I mean? For the guy that turn around and be like, well, yo, I could play with his lady, but I can't play with his money.
right,
Like when you start figuring the things out that you can play with, it's just
yeah,
like the kid that always get in trouble. You say, damn, why won't he do right? It's
yeah,
because he's mastered or she's mastered the limitations to which they can go. But like me, I got a bunch of beatings coming up.
right,
It wasn't because I didn't realize what the penalty was going to be. I just played against the boundaries of it, and I knew what they were before I crossed them, before the punishment came. Didn't
right,
make me smart, but it made me more defined. See, once you survive something,
yeah,
your fear for that thing changes.
right.
It changes once you survive from something.
But me
But that's why I
personally,
say the respect and game.
I never feared getting hit. I didn't. I respected the nature because I knew that when you would get spanked to the pop, whatever it was, you know what I mean, it let mom or pop down. So my loyalty to them of not wanting to let them down is what made me
Right.
do right. So
Yeah, I
I
got you.
feared my parents because it's a reverential fear. Because guess what? I didn't want to lose the trust. That was
Right.
more important to me. They could trust.
Right.
It's like, for example, junior high school, algebra 2, had it early. Came home, F. Mom and pop like, that ain't right. They go up to the school. Mr. Rainey didn't take none of the tests. I'm like, that don't make any sense. I asked you, how did I get this grade? You ain't tell me. Now you telling my parents. I said, I took all them tests. Well, I don't have none of them. How you don't have them and I'm here? Right? So they said,
Okay.
so mom and pop, like, so mom, like, look, you saying he didn't have all the tests. My son said he took the test. What do y'all propose? Y'all can't make one test? It's just like a final exam. Make one test. We in the middle. Make a midterm for him and give him everything on it. And if he fails, he fails. If he passes, he passes. Boom. F went to an 85 because I passed. But my parents had so much trust in me, they would have never, if they knew that was me, Eric ain't taking no goddamn test. They wouldn't even have went up there and did that.
Right, because you know why? Because in that case, bro, it's the
Right.
nature of the person.
It's the
They
nature.
It would have went
Right.
back to what I was saying. The
Yeah.
nature. They would have said,
But it's the knowledge.
I
It's
know.
like it's the respect, like you said, number one, and the knowledge of the nature.
yeah.
Their knowledge
Like, that's
of
what
my
it is.
nature. It's like they know this is who Eric is.
That's how they wound up there. They
Right.
wouldn't have went to the school if it was in your nature to not do what you're supposed to do in school.
Right.
They would have looked at the F and say, "You did what you did. You did what you did. You earned that."
You earned that. You
But the
got that
fact-
shit.
The reason why they wound up at the school is because they knew
That's not my son.
by the nature of who you are as a person
Right.
that's not my son. And that's why I was saying our hearts sometimes as we get older, outside of our parental element of things, our hearts, our expectations, we start calling people bruh or sis. And then when things happen, we work against the reality of the nature of that person because our heart wanted to believe that their nature wasn't
Right.
going to activate. It wasn't going to be what it was.
Right. Because somebody's not nothing until the first time.
Right.
Right. You're
Right,
not
that's what I'm saying.
you're not considered anything until the first time you do it.
Right. Like think about it from the perspective of, like I said, even back with mom and dad and stuff. If I got beatings and you didn't, I wasn't slow. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with me. It wasn't that I ain't have common sense. I just was somebody who was going to keep going against the grain.
Right.
I went against the grain, and that's the repercussions of it. You know what I mean? Even within my own children.
Right.
One ain't gonna press the envelope that way, and the other one is.
Yeah,
It's,
and-
and it's just
And it's
just
because
that nature,
it's because but it goes back to what? Choice.
goes back to choice.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
first and
Like, but like you say all the time, like, you know, the thing is in keeping your brother, your sister, and everything, and the ones who portray them, you know what I
Right.
mean? The ones who portray them, in their mind, they felt whatever they felt was gain was bigger than the loss of the friendship or the trust
Yeah.
of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
They felt like the
Yeah.
gain was bigger than the trust.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
it's a perfect example. Let's use power. Remember
Okay.
when they jukebox had Tariq, 50 and Ghost, you know, Kanan and Ghost went in and robbed
Right.
Tommy stash house.
Right.
Killed what's the name as you know one of the dudes in there and took the money. But Tommy knew that I would be able to explain this. I would be able to explain this. Like I can tell Tommy, like I know my brother well enough to explain to him, yo, they had Tariq. I had to get the money. If I wouldn't have did it, this would have happened. They would have killed. He knew he can explain that.
Right.
All the other times
And-
that Tommy felt crossed by ghosts, right?
Right.
Because it
Right.
always happened.
Right.
In that particular instinct, that's, in my opinion, look, if we was looking at it from a street, we would say, bitch, that was the worst he ever did. He went in and killed this boy, took the money, and said, my bad, man, they was going to take Reek. But he knew that Tommy loved Reek that much. All right. You get what I'm saying? But the other
Yeah.
things that he misunderstood that looked like crosses, that because it was in his nature sometimes, because you know why Tommy understood? Okay, Ghost ain't gonna do nothing this reckless unless his back was to the wall taking the money. But these tactical crosses, this is him. This is the shit he does. This is why he's
Because-
Ghost.
That's
The knowledge and respect of his nature.
That's what it is.
Yeah. You
That's
know what I
all
mean?
it is.
So,
Yeah.
and it gives you the choice to continue to love this person the same.
You right.
Or
Nah,
not.
Absolutely.
But he was so loyal to him to the fact that he ain't want to kill Tariq because he said, I promised your dad that I wouldn't touch
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
Tommy was always the most loyal soldier.
yeah, yeah. And that, like I said, it was
He was
like that was a
truly his
very
brother's
short lived.
keeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No question. No question. You know, Tommy may be in a fictional character that we looked at, but we do have at least one or two like that. We do.
right. Yeah,
We do. If you're lucky,
yeah. And
if
you
you're
know who they
lucky,
are. You always know
and
who
you
they are.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's why I say, you know, at the end of it all, man, you know, when a person asks you that,
right.
it depends on who's asking
Mm-hmm.
and who they're asking about.
Right.
And see, and I'm the type of person, my loyalty is the way that it is to the point that if that person that's asking me isn't in isn't ranked in my life to really be able to even ask that question,
Right.
I kind of got to question the ulterior motive or what's the motive behind you asking that.
Absolutely. Because
You know
now
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
if you're asking me this,
Right.
you're asking me, can you trust me? So one, you either think I did something or you plotting on doing something to me.
Yeah. You're looking
It's
for a
something you
vulnerable spot. You're looking for
yeah,
a sweet. You're looking for a soft spot.
right,
Yeah.
cuz it's like it's like many, you only see in the movies when men be talking to their woman, "Can I trust you? Baby, can I trust you?" I don't know nobody really walking the street. People earn trust and you say, "All right, I put that out there." And then you tell them later, "I know I can trust you because when this situation happened, I see how you handled it."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I like
literally
that.
asking people shit like that, because
Yeah.
really, let's ask the question: can I trust you? Who gonna be like, nah, you can't trust me, black?
Yeah.
Who
You know,
gonna really be like that, man? Like, seriously, think about
exactly.
that, man. Who
Yeah.
gonna really
Yeah.
be like that?
Well, who do you question, right? Like, who do you pose that question to? Who do you pose that question to that's trustworthy?
Somebody
Nobody.
you don't trust.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked the question. Who do you truly am I
Cause
my brother's keeper? The only reason that Nino even answered that just in the G Money situation is it because it came
yeah,
from G Money.
right,
There couldn't have been nobody outside of that relationship that asked that question because he'd have been like, "What?" You
mm-hmm,
understand what I'm saying? So it's just certain things like you said, even with the example with what took place with Ghost and the Tommy situation and him separating. This was done out of necessity. I know this.
right,
And I know when he's doing things tactically and it's him being him. I know how to separate the two. That
right,
to me is that bond. That's that bruh. That's
yeah.
that
I learned.
relationship that allows
I
that.
know his. Okay, you can trust a thief to steal from you. You can
Right.
trust a liar to lie to you. Trust a
Right.
snake to bite you.
Right.
You trust people to
Right.
be who he is, and repeatedly go show them who he was.
Absolutely.
So he understood that, and he knew where to put him. But that
Absolutely.
reckless shit, he like, yo, what's she? You too reckless today. What's going on?
And half of that, in my opinion, was the fact that he really didn't want to do it because
Right,
he's not reckless in any other times when he's being
right.
tactical.
So Tommy was
So
smart enough to understand
yeah,
my brother was in a desperate state.
yeah, and even when he was being tactical in terms of trying to do physical harm, what I'm saying is that even in those situations, Tommy knew enough to know that if he's being not sloppy,
Right,
he don't want to do this because when he want to be precise, it's too late.
right,
He's precise.
right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say a lot of that stuff, like that's a matter of the heart thing that came into play in that. And that was a great example. But
Mm-hmm.
I think when you want to you want to get a couple this or that's this week, man. I mean, we're
Oh
having a great
yeah,
conversation, but you want to get into that?
yeah. Absolutely, we got to. Let's go
All right,
ahead and
let's do
go
that.
to it.
Let's do that.
Welcome to another episode of This or That, where we're asked Mr. Influential some questions like, am I my brother's kid? No, we're gonna get to the show. Let's go. You ain't gotta ask that with us, man. Let's go, P. Hit it with the this or that. You little slow, you know.
Okay. Wow. I'm gonna start off more. I'm not gonna say positive, but not as negative as some of this stuff here. All
I
right. I
don't
don't know
know.
if you watched either one of these shows.
All
Did
right,
you
go ahead.
watch Lord of the Rings? Did you watch Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones?
Nope.
Okay, we'll move right along.
And all
Okay,
you
don't
Game
worry
of
about it.
Thrones people, so what? I ain't watch it. I'm good, man.
Yeah. All right. Saturdays or Sundays?
For what?
For whatever, brother. They belong to you. Pick them. We can. All right, let's do this. Let's tie it to you specifically. A gig.
Most Sunday gigs are early, but I like Saturdays, so I could just kind of kick my feet up Sunday, it's a lot of day parties that happen Sunday. So I rather, if I'm not doing them, I would like to attend them sometimes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Ice bath or a sauna. Sometimes you work out, man.
I'm
Different
getting in the
things help with
sauna.
recovery.
It's crazy to sound like the heat. I don't like that shit. That cold shock shit ain't for me. But I'll sweat out in the sauna and then come out, let that wind hit me. That's summer. Ooh, that's like heaven. Feels just like heaven.
Got you. I don't know if you're into action movies. I like both of
Yeah.
these guys, but you got to do it either or James Bond or Jason Bourne.
Born.
Okay.
He righteous.
Marvel or DC? Hey,
DC. DC got Superman and Batman in there, right?
Yeah, I know. I feel kind of awkward. Yeah, DC. Yeah. DC is Batman now. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And Marvel's Captain America and all of them, right?
Yeah, correct. Have you been watching She-Hulk?
Nah. But Black Panther's under Marvel, right?
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only.
Yep.
That's my favorite under Marvel. But I probably go with Batman, Superman, Spider Man.
Okay. Regular or sweet potato fries?
Sweet potatoes never seem to let me down. I don't always have great regular fries. I like sweet potato.
Okay. Iron Man or the Hulk?
Iron Man. Hulk is just strong, but Iron Man was smooth, smart. He's a genius, bro. You know what I mean? And with me
Yeah.
not being the biggest guy in the world, I ain't, size ain't everything. But
Always been a Hulk guy, man.
But I need the Hulk because you want to break some shit. But I need Hulk on my team. I need Hulk on my team, but I'm Iron Man. I just love the smarts, man. That's the same thing I liked about Batman, man. Listen, I can tell you everything. I like Batman because he was intelligent. I like Iron Man because he was intelligent. I like
Right.
Spider-Man because he was always like looked over. Quiet guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Right. And I like the Hulk, Thor. What you gonna say? Yeah, all the ones that swing a hammer or break something up.
who? Hulk,
or
Thor,
whatever.
who else? Who else you like?
Superman.
Do
Hulk,
you-
Thor, Superman.
You know what they all got in common? They all strong, right? But you know what they all got in common?
Go ahead.
Heavy baby powder users. Heavy baby powder users. You got to be Hulk got to be on blow to be that wild and strong. Like that's all that's all look, you gotta agree that's all blow action, P. Listen, man, I understand. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Batman and Iron Man smoked a little herb. But you cannot tell me that Thor, Hulk, anybody walk around with a hammer like that ain't on blow?
Now, this is why we got to do this. First and foremost, let's spend a little time on this. You said that Batman, Iron Man, and somebody else. But let's just
Spider-Man.
focus on those.
Spider-Man.
Now, I know he's on it. He want to hang upside down and jump from building to building. You don't know nobody.
That's herb. That's herb. That's weed.
That's definitely not herb.
P.
Yeah, all right. E.
Anytime you ever see somebody smoke weed and want to break some shit,
Okay.
that's what Thor and Hulk always wants to do.
Now,
They just start. Come on, man.
Thor is a god. Let's just start there. So his powers are.
He's
are over-
not God, though. So you're
not-
trying to
he's not
tell
God.
me that because he's God, he can't have blow in his system?
The Hulk became that way because of the radioactive material that got into his system. He didn't even create it.
What does that sound like? What does that? Radioactive?
Now,
Okay,
now,
so why did
let's see
Tony
it.
Montana act the way he act? He was radioactive after he had his face and a mountain of cocaine, P.
What's Iron Man's first name?
Iron.
What's his real first name?
Tony.
Like Montana, right?
No.
Like Montana, right?
Tony
So that's right
Starks.
there.
He sold
Now,
it. He sold it.
now,
He
hold
didn't
on.
use it. He sold it.
So Tony, who's a man who jumps in an iron suit, I know you got to be skied to do that. You
No.
think that you can do stuff.
No.
The
He
other
was
person that
protecting
you said
himself.
was Batman, who was a rich, super rich millionaire, billionaire.
They was the
Who li-
distributors.
who
This is what I'm trying to
Whoa.
tell you.
I'm trying to tell
That,
you. The other two didn't have a choice. They were born that way, or either created that way through the radioactive introduction of that into his blood.
so what you're saying is they're powder babies. That's what you're saying because
No.
you said Hulk became what he became from the radioactive shit getting in his body. What is the most not
His dad
li-
did that.
What is
His
the
dad
most
did that to him.
non-electrical radioactive shit in the world?
His father
Dope.
put that into his bloodstream. Superman was the other one.
Into his bloodstream. There you
He's
go.
not even here. That's dope.
Okay.
But and then the other one, right, was Superman, and he came from Krypton. He's not even from here. The ones you like are regular people, man, that
Okay.
think they can do stuff. That means
I'll
they're
give you
out of
this.
their
I'll give you
mind.
this. I'll give you this. I didn't talk much about. I did say Superman earlier. Okay, Batman, intelligent. Iron Man, intelligent. They both was rich, right? Spider-Man, definitely a weed head, right? Definitely a weed head. Okay, right? However,
Right.
Superman, kryptonite, boat juice. I be on that kryptonite, straight up on that kryptonite.
You know what's funny, y'all? We took a perfectly serious, nice episode.
Yeah. I don't understand why everybody's calling me right now. It's like 6 people
It's-
called me from work. I don't know what happened.
and splashed this moment of what we do
Right.
into the mix.
Right.
Hey man, take us out of this or that, man. I like to get back to where we was at, man, but I think we're gonna have to revisit those characters at some point or another, man. Our heroes, man. Or who those, that we tend to.
Welcome to another ending of This or That. Before we wrap, we're going to get it right back. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah, man. So once again, the blood, the sis thing, and all those type of things, man. Am I my brother's keeper? Once again, I think that question only comes about for people that's either unrealistic with those relationships or people that really don't belong in that category. I believe in what you said, E. You make a lot of sense that it all comes down to choices. That's really what it comes down to. Who you allow to be considered bruh or sis. Don't get that out so easily.
Right.
Be a little bit more mindful that people are going to have they got a nature about them. There's a side of them that you know, there's a side of them that you don't know, and there's a side of them that, may come into question one day. But be careful who you give out certain titles to. I agree with E on the situation of choice. Things need to be earned. But I believe at the end of the day, if I got to ask that question, or if somebody got to ask me that question, I don't know where we really sit anyway. Just my feeling on that one, bro.
And this has been episode 87. My brother's keeper of the Porch podcast. You know what I mean? It's right there. I don't got much to add, but just let y'all know that I want to thank y'all for rocking with us for 87 straight episodes. You know what I mean? Clap it up for that again.
Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely.
You can find
Appreciate
us
that.
on all your podcast streaming sites. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible, Stitcher, Spotify.
Radio Public Outcast, not Outcast, Overcast. Overcast Radio.
You on that kryptonite with Big Boy. That's what it is.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
I
saying.
mean?
You still got me right there.
Yeah,
Overcast
yeah,
Radio.
yeah.
Trying to think. Did you say Amazon Music?
Yeah, Amazon Music, Blowback Radio. Um, and of course you can see us on YouTube, man, at the Porch Podcast. You know what I mean? Follow us on Instagram at the Porch 30, man. Like I said, man, this is your boy DJ Ebis Influential, man. I'm out. P, you got something to say? Something to say to
Hey
me?
man, like you say each and every week, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Most importantly, enjoy the show. This has been episode number 87. My brother's keeper. Look forward to seeing y'all next week. All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.